So odds are, if you're on this video, you're an online fitness coach or you're trying to get into online fitness coaching and make your first $10,000 as an online fitness coach. And if you're struggling to convert from people seeing your videos, you need to stop focusing on views and going viral. And I know that might sound super controversial because you're like, oh, well, the more people that see me, like, yo, the more odds they'll buy. Yes, but I'd rather you framework it like this. So rather than having 100,000 viewers, I would personally rather have 1,000 buyers who are paying high ticket prices for my coaching. My name is Andrew Wilkes and I'm an online fitness coach who's turned business coach. And after I made tens of thousands of dollars in online fitness coaching, I've now helped dozens of other coaches do the exact same thing with the exact same template that these big influencers won't teach you. See, when I say these other influencers, I'm not even putting myself in the influencer column. The thing is, when you go to a big influencer to learn how to be a fitness coach, odds are you don't have 30,000 to 100,000 followers to start with. You're just a good coach trying to make money online. And see, the problem is with their advice versus what you can actually implement is you're doing things that a fucking influencer would be doing, but you don't have the following, so you don't get the volume. So you need to do it differently. You need to actually put your feet in the mud the way that I had to and the way dozens of my other clients had to. For me, the road was very rocky. But in that rocky road, I learned how to see success and duplicate it time and time again for my own clients. So your biggest problem right now is expecting your first couple clients and to flood your DMs, but in reality, you're doing it wrong because you're not building enough value. You really do need to be more than just face and abs online to attract the right clientele. And when I say right clientele, I don't mean those 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds to even 20-year-olds who want to just be aesthetic, because odds are they don't have enough to pay a high ticket. So what we have mastered is actually finding higher paying clients in the higher age demographics who can actually support, themselves. And the thing is, they really do want to make a change because they've been struggling their whole life, not just a couple years being skinny. So the first piece of advice that I can give you, the number one thing is give away as much value as possible. The more value, the more rapport, the more trust, and the more people will buy from you and answer your DMs. The second step I'd recommend is understanding what works for you. I would do this by building out a funnel system. The funnel system kind of looks something like this. So what we have here is what we call your funnel. Your funnel works kind of like this with your content. So at the top of your funnel, we have the viral content, the stuff that's going to grab the views, right? So whether that's your aesthetics or you showing off your physique or any motivational kind of content where it's going to kind of get more views, or it's kind of the stuff that you want to get views, just that kind of stuff. So that, let's say we put at 60%. So that's at 60% of our content. Now let's work our way down to the middle of the funnel. The middle of the funnel is going to be more like your direct coaching content. So the direct coaching content is stuff like try these workouts or showing your workout program or try this ab day, this arm day, trying to get arms like this, try this, right? Or are you trying to get abs for the summer? It starts in the kitchen. Try this, boom, 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 boom. Or this is exactly how you find your macros, right? Stuff like that, okay? So that would be what we would put into the 40% of our content. So what we have after the 60 and the 40, yes, that's 100. Now we move into our bottom of the funnel. So it's unrelated to the top two. That's why it adds up to 100. So the bottom of our funnel would be our stories. So the reason our stories are important is because what we get to do is we get to nurture with those. So people come to our page through the top percent, the 60, right? That's 60 from the top funnel. The top funnels into our coaching content. Our coaching content gains more kind of followers that we are wanting because those are people that are there for our coaching business, not just because we have abs and an aesthetic physique, right? And once they follow you from those, they're going to start seeing your stories. Your stories are for the followers. The reels are for the people on the algorithm. So now what you're going to do is you're going to use your stories to utilize things like these. So this next phase would be our polls and our stories. Our polls, what we do is we find a specific problem. So what are you trying to change? We can do two things with that. We can kind of make content about it, or we could actually reach out to the people who react to the polls and respond. So those are what we call poll responders, which are warm leads. From there, on our stories, we can also use things like questions. Questions, what they do is they actually open up the whole pathway for your audience to ask you specific questions about what their struggles are. So let's say you're a fitness coach that specializes in weight loss. With the weight loss coaching, you can ask, well, what are your struggles with weight loss? Or ask me questions to help you with your weight loss. People are going to respond. When they respond, what you can do from there is shoot them a little message saying, hey, I made a story about it. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to help you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, actually, if you don't mind me asking, what are your goals? oh, blah, 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 blah. And then you go into an organic conversation. See, the thing is, when you focus on virality, you're not going to build a good community. You're not going to build a relationship with these people. But with having a small following, you actually have an advantage because they don't see you as an influencer. They see you as one of them, which means you have a relationship and a rapport built already. Now, tip number 3 is, I'm going to be blunt. You got to be good at sales. See, you can have as good as an offer as anybody. You can have an undeniable offer, but if you aren't good at the sales, closing a deal is going to be pretty difficult, especially with the high ticket, and you're just going to constantly be chasing people for those $100 a month payments rather than being able to close guys at, anywhere from $4,200 to $6,000. And sales is one of the number one things, no matter what industry you're in as an entrepreneur. Sales is the number one thing I can recommend you practice. And if you are looking to learn how to practice your sales, we are going to have more videos on that. And I do teach one-on-one. So if you need any advice, just hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on any platform. The link is going to be in the description. But with that being said, that is tip number 3. Get nasty at sales. Watch as many videos as you can. Ask people and honestly talk to yourself. Sell to yourself. Do demo calls with yourself. Grab a friend and sell to him. Practice your offer. And when it comes to your offer, make sure you know exactly what you're offering. Make sure you know it inside and out, or you're going to sound foolish and unexperienced. Nobody wants to go to a fool. Nobody wants to go to somebody who's inexperienced because nobody wants to be the first person on a roller coaster. You might die. So, with that being said, make sure your offer is, 1, undeniable. You offer so much that they would feel stupid for walking away. Again, so if you enjoyed this video or if you took any information from this video, I know it was pretty quick, but what I do recommend is you watch more of our content and you go into the Instagram and find more of the content. It's all free, or DM me on Instagram and DM me sales. I can help you with your sales by sending you some free catalogs full of our training videos and PDFs that go down and break down exactly how to build out an offer through the entire closing framework and objection handling. If that sounds like something you're looking for, DM me sales. And if you're an online fitness coach looking to actually make a $10,000 per month within your first month, just click that little link in the description. You can book a one-to-one call with me. And on there, we're going to have a few questions to make sure you're qualified, because we turn away at least 15 online coaches per week, because we make sure that if we're teaching coaches how to make money, they're coaches who know how to coach. And honestly, you got to have drive. You got to have what it takes, because when times get tough, are you going to quit or are you going to keep going? So we only work with the best of the best. And if you feel like you have what it takes to be an online fitness coach to actually make a living off of this, not just $10,000 a month, that's the first goal. But if you believe in yourself and think you can make anywhere from 50 to 60, like me and everyone you see online, click that link in the description and I'll be happy to hop on a call with you and show you exactly how we do it for ourselves. So with that being said, have a great day. I love you. God loves you. Peace.
What's new on the FYP? He got cheated on, kind of.